Warning, the following podcast contains Scottish people, and as a result, they will potentially use offensive language in their discussions. So don't be a and turn it up.
In this episode of the WrestleVerse podcast, we sit down with Fraser Girvan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children over the age of 18, this is the WrestleVerse podcast. I am here today with Craig.
Hi.
Oh, that was something. And who do we have with us today, Craig?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Frank?
Dave? No.
Dave?
No.
Dave's not here, man.
Try again. Hey.
Jesus Christ. It's the one and only Fraser Girvan. How you doing?
Hello.
I'm very confused.
Which bit's confused you?
Who's Frank and who's Dave?
I don't know.
Fuck the names that came to my mind.
That's fine.
It's,
Fraser Girvan is here.
yay. That's better than
important.
Frank or Dave.
Dave Girvan?
No. Frank Girvan?
Frank Gallagher?
Frank Gallagher, like from Shameless?
Yeah.
So it is.
Anyway.
Never actually seen it.
Remember
Me
how,
neither.
remember how I said that we digress quite a lot?
Yeah.
We're like 3 minutes in and we're away.
Well,
So, anyway, let's do what we're here for.
Take it away.
No, you've got the first bits. I've got the fan questions. So you.
Alright, fair.
I'll whip out my specs.
Thank you so much for coming on. Spending time
Not a
with
problem.
Us. It's, obviously, you've had some pictures,
Yes.
some chat,
Yes.
some coffee, some tea, whatever the situation
No, I had
is.
no coffee left. So
Just
There's
water.
coffee left.
no, that my shit host.
Hey, water suffices. It's
Water's
fine.
good. Water's good. Feeds us all. Feeds us all. But no, seriously, I really appreciate taking time to sit down and talk because
problem.
a lot of people wanted to know some things. We'll dive into some questions that have been submitted for you, but
Perfect.
we've always got the same stuff. We ask everybody, and it's always really interesting to hear their stories. And the first one I've got for yourself is who and what inspired you to get into professional wrestling and go, you know what, I'm going to do this.
So, many people would be led to believe it was Lewis getting me into wrestling.
That's what I was going to imagine that people would have thought.
Not the case.
No,
It was me. I got him into it.
Okay.
really.
I was the one who rented SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. And he done the very brotherly thing and stole it off of me.
That's
And then
what.
he got into wrestling, but he was
That's
being a
what
bit
brothers do,
older.
isn't it?
Then he started wrestling, and then of course me being the wee brother trying to like join in on him. That got me super into it. And watching him and seeing all the success that he's had
Yeah.
is what eventually led to me becoming a wrestler.
Okay.
But I got us into wrestling. I want to make that very clear.
Very clear.
Okay.
I love that. That's brilliant.
So what was it when you got 2008 SmackDown, so if I remember correctly, and this is pathetic, was that the one that had Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the cover?
No, that was 2009.
Was that 2009? Right, cool.
I've outgeeked you. This was the one that had, get this, I could be wrong here, but Undertaker, John
Bobby
Cena.
Lashley
and-
featuring ECW at the bottom.
There we go.
That's the one.
That's
Cool,
the one.
cool. Oh well. So before that, did you watch on occasion or?
No, like this is the thing.
Wow.
Wrestling did not exist to me until that game.
All right.
Genuinely
okay.
had zero knowledge of it.
Wow.
Played that and it was like glass shatter moment of like, what is this thing?
Really?
Was Drew in that one?
No, Drew wasn't in it at that point. Drew would have been in the, I'd maybe say the year after that, but
2009, I think.
that was the other thing. It was discovering wrestling existed, and then not long after discovering that Scottish wrestling existed
Yeah.
was mind blowing.
Mind-blowing.
Uh-huh.
Because I thought this is like, I don't know, this is this big American thing,
Yeah.
and finding out they were doing it, and they were doing it in the Johnstown Town Hall,
Aye.
10 minutes from my house. That was
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool.
brilliant. Also, when I was a young lassie watching wrestling, it didn't exist up here, really, did it? Because I'm considerably older than most people in the room.
Pushing 50.
I'm not pushing 50. Watch it. It's never too late for us to fall out, you know.
I mean, it would have happened by now.
Well, you never know.
Okay, that's pretty fucking interesting. No one has ever said anything even close to that.
Genuinely.
Our most out there answer, I think, was Kes.
Yeah.
He saw the WWE magazine, saw a picture of JBL in the rack in a shop and went,
That's right.
fuck's that, picked it up, and that was him. But
Wow.
from going from gaming into this first, because obviously the target audience for those THQ games back in the day, SmackDown versus Raw, was people that knew what the fuck was going on.
Uh-huh.
Well, see, this is the crazy thing. It was, I distinctly remember, because being like 7 at the time, it was on the back of it, CM Punk was hitting Jeff Hardy with a guitar, I want to say. And I saw I was super into music at the time, and I saw the guitar, and being 7, and just the way that your brain associates things together, I went, this must be a music game. Of course, CM
They have
Punk.
some pretty banging tunes.
Well, that's
but
true. The soundtracks are still definitely in gym playlists, but no, it was seeing CM Punk covering the tattoos, and then Jeff Hardy looking all eccentric and weird like he does. That was like, oh, those are my kind of guys.
That's so cool. I love
the
that.
bands,
Yeah, exactly.
That was literally, it was like God sent me, that was literally my Craig's Christmas present for me every year. Wasn't it?
For, what, 10 years at least?
Yeah. I don't buy them many more, like...
Well, see, yeah, that was the thing. I was super into them, and then when they changed to like being just WWE, and then it was 2K, and then I got to the age where I like. Now, this is the hilarious bit: is video games is what got me into wrestling. Technically, I'm not a gamer. I will hand on my heart say, and I know that's not a cool thing to say in wrestling anymore, but I'm not the biggest gamer.
Right,
What
okay.
you're into is what you're into. You don't feel pressured to sit and play Call of Duty 18 hours a day because that's what everyone else does. Personally, I hate it as well. Don't hate gaming. That would be an absolute lie, but
Yeah.
crap like that, I can't sit and do that. Or people that sit and gamble, you know, are once wages on fucking FIFA cards. Or whatever.
It's not something that's ever...
Not a
It's not
chance.
something that's ever been a thing for me. I think the only game I ever played was any of those
I
kind
used
of...
to beat the utter shite out of each other and then
Yeah.
it was on end.
And my mum would be like, oh, they're getting on for a change. I'm like, no, we've just found a new way to hate each other. Found a new way that makes you think we're getting on, but we're actually not. I bought them, so it was okay.
I mean, aye, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, cool.
I like that.
So, with the games, who drew you to it? Who was your person of choice? Or did you make you? Did you do what we all did and make a shit you with a really weird name that people are embarrassed to talk about?
See, I never actually made myself because I was so young, but I loved CM Punk. I thought he was the coolest guy on earth. See, like at the time being like, because I came fresh off going back to gaming, fresh off like the Tony Hawk's wave of like skaters and like all that kind of culture. Seeing a guy who was like dead into punk music, covered in tattoos, I was like, he's the coolest guy on earth. Him and Jeff Hardy especially.
Yeah.
Who else? There was, I don't know, Rey Mysterio because he had a wee mask on. That was cool.
Tiny guy, heavily tattooed as well. So.
Exactly.
I used to always kind of make myself like a girl Jeff Hardy, didn't I?
However, every time
Like the Rock.
That was that. You were White the Rock and I was girl Jeff Hardy.
anytime there was like creating a wrestler, they always had the Jeff Hardy beard and eyebrow slits.
Yeah.
I'd fucking look at me now. Wonder where I got that from.
I mean, everyone's going to say that. Just about everyone who I've spoken to has got somebody they've looked at and went, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And stolen some kind of, well, not stolen, but what's it? Pinched with pride.
Emulated.
Emulated.
You're putting this very kindly. I stole this off of Jeff Hardy. That's 100% what I've done here.
Thousands across the globe, that's.
Absolutely.
So, who would you say then? So, CM Punk was a big thing for you. You absolutely loved him. Do you still feel that way about Punk?
Oh my god, I like to say I'm not like the biggest, like, I'm not that big a fan. CM Punk's the coolest guy on earth, and I will stand on business saying that.
Yeah.
I still think he's the coolest guy on earth.
Did you watch everything he was doing?
I still watch everything he's doing. It's one of the few things I still watch religiously. Is this is how you know, because I don't pay for wrestling. I never have.
Right.
Get into that, but like I've never really bought the pay-per-views. I've never really. I was too when I was younger. We were too poor to afford like Sky Sports. Didn't watch Raw, or SmackDown.
Yeah,
we
same
always
way.
watched TNA because it was free on Bravo and like Spike and whatnot.
Yeah.
I actually bought the first episode of Was it Rampage? Was it? Yeah, it was Rampage. Was when CM Punk came back in AEW. Am I talking shit?
Yeah.
I actually bought that episode
Just for that pop alone,
just to
man.
watch that.
Yeah.
Stayed up late on a work night, like a wee Wayne, to watch it because I was all buzzing.
Did you ever see him in that TV show Heels?
Yes, I loved Heels,
Yeah, great.
and I can't find it anywhere now.
I think there is only 2 seasons of it.
I know there's the 2 seasons. I've seen the first one, but I never got around to watching the second because by the time that was on telly, like it was like some gimmick that they had on Amazon Prime where they had stars as like a thing you could subscribe to.
Just for that. Yeah.
So I watched it for, again, I don't pay for wrestling much, but CM Punk's involved, you know, I'm laying that money down. I watched the first season of that, loved it, and I've just not been able to find the second season anywhere,
Yeah.
and it's breaking my heart.
I did see it somewhere, but I think I might have done something illegal and dodgy to get it.
See, I'm a
I don't know what you're talking about.
Probably.
I'm a respectful member of my society. Is that the civilization? I don't know. I don't do stuff illegally.
Do stuff like that.
I don't dodgy fire sticks. What's that?
I know.
I am 100% sure I've seen it.
That obviously doesn't belong to you.
No, our friend gave me it to
Watch the thing and give it back.
for him because he thought it wasn't working, and then I tested
yeah,
it
that's
by
watching something.
By watching
an
something.
entire season of a TV show over a 3-week period.
Aye. No, we were the same though. See, like you were saying about like when you were younger, not being able to, you could only watch kind of what was on Bravo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We were exactly the same. Like I don't know if you remember, because obviously I'm considerably older. My aunt and our aunt and uncle lived in Livingston, and she had like the all singing, all dancing, every channel you could ever. And I'd be like, can we go through to Auntie Alice's so that I can watch the wrestling? And my uncle would be sitting, he would sit and watch golf for hours and hours and hours.
I was this with my wife. Well, I'm saying with my wife. You know who my wife is.
And well, other people might not.
We were genuinely talking about this yesterday. Somehow Stranraer came up because
Right.
something in the news about like stopping the ferries to Stranraer, so
Right, okay.
the town's fucking dead basically. And I was like, somehow Uncle Cameron just sitting in his arse all day watching any kind of golf that was available, but never played the fucking
No, never touched a golf club in his life. I couldn't think of anything more boring to watch for more than 3 minutes.
Anyway, sorry.
But no, I
couldn't
just
go to see it.
kind of the same. I'd be like, "Can we go through it?" And my mum would be like, "Oh, we're going through to see Auntie Alice," and I'd be like, "Oh, can we watch the wrestling?"
I remember it was like I used to be pals with people in like this when I was in primary school, just because I knew they had. I could watch Raw and SmackDown when I was at their house. Yeah, I was like, that was
I
my
don't know if I want to be your pal yet.
my baseline for being friends. And I was like, "Do you have Sky Sports?
I love that.
Can I watch John Cena?"
No one can.
They go in there like, "Do you want to play football?" No.
No,
That's
I
it.
watched Raw last week.
yeah, I'll play football
Get
if
the
I have
highlights
to.
on.
Aye, we didn't really get it much wrong. We got the SmackDown highlights on a Saturday on Sky One. when we
That's
somehow
right.
got cable.
Oh, that
On like a
was.
Saturday afternoon or something, wasn't it?
Sunday Night Heat on Channel 4.
It wasn't Sunday Night Heat. It was the WWE Experience. Now this is a wee peek behind the curtain. Good Catholic boy myself. I would go to church on a Sunday.
Yep.
And when I come home, I was just in time for the WWE Experience to start on a Sunday, and that was your highlights for the whole week, and that was it for WWE. Because at this point they weren't good at, like, you know, now they put all their highlights on YouTube.
Yeah.
At that time they didn't really. So any WWE I was getting was the wee things that would like peek out on YouTube every so often, or it was that, and that was all I knew of WWE. Oh, and the pay-per-views of course, but that would be like your big ones. I'd get Mania and Rumble, and if I was lucky I'd get another one throughout the year.
Yeah.
And for me, the first one I ever properly got was, again, Family Friends down the stairs, William.
Oh, that's
Another
right.
guy who would just sit and watch golf
Golf.
all day.
Seems
At least
like
he
a running
played it, though.
theme here.
Aye, they played it, aye. They had it and they started taping it for me overnight.
Oh, that's right.
Mania 15 was the first one I got handed to me in a VHS.
And they would come up the stairs the next morning with VHS and they'd be like, yeah.
That's amazing.
I was obviously dead nice because William worked like he was night shift at times. He was never in, so the woman that lived in the house, wee Terry, she would have like intentionally sat up till silly o'clock in the morning to make sure she could record it for us and stuff, which was so nice.
Aye. I actually still have one of them.
Do you?
I still have the WrestleMania 17.
Oh,
Found it when we were moving.
See, that was the other thing. It was like my mum worked in Blockbuster. That's how we rented SmackDown vs. Raw, because we got the free rentals.
Yeah.
But through that, it was like all the old DVDs, like your ECW One Night Stand and stuff like that. So I knew a bunch about what had happened before, but if you were asking me anything that happened like at the time, I had no clue.
No,
'Cause
aye.
I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I could tell you all about Rob Van Dam, but fucking Couldn't tell you what I don't know, John Cena was doing on Raw that week.
Aye. Well, I mean, everyone kind of got to that at one point in their life. You just fell away from the main, your main workhorse, your main flagship WWE, and what was happening there and then at the time. Everyone falls away from it at one point in their life. It happens to them all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's pretty cool. So there was a question in here about your Mount Rushmore of wrestling. So I already know one of those slots is definitely CM Punk.
See, I feel like I'd get lynched if I said he was on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, really?
If my personal, from like watching point of view, because that's the thing, I feel this Mount Rushmore question gets asked a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to pinpoint what do you mean by Mount Rushmore. For your personal preference, I can see that as just being like your top 4 wrestlers. But then there's also like you take into consideration what is like the original Mount Rushmore about. It's about the founding fathers of America. It's about the people who really like laid the groundwork for America. So then you have to look at it from that perspective and you go, right, who are the people who really laid the groundwork for what professional wrestling is today? And then it gets into the wee sub, like, there's British guys who could be on it, but then there's American guys who could be on it, and then there's Japanese and Mexican, and it really, like...
You could absolutely have, like, a different series of answers for
I feel
each.
like if you really want to, like, talk about people in the mainstream who changed the business, it needs to be Hogan, Cena, Austin, and Rock.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk about guys who, like, flag bearers for this business and what it is today, those are the guys.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows all of them.
Yeah.
They are mainstream.
This is what I mean.
And bizarrely, that quite obviously it was one that we kind of normally kind of fire in, but it was Big Fluff had also kind of sent that in, so that kind of came from Fluffy as well, didn't it?
So we don't take it as the Mount Rushmore, then we'll take it as just your personal.
If it was my own personal Mount Rushmore,
Yeah.
Fraser Girvan, Lois Girvan. My dad had a match one.
Anybody with the surname Girvan?
Yeah, more or less. I don't know. Personal favourites. Moxley's definitely up there. He's a guy that, like, obviously wasn't there when I first got into wrestling, but definitely became one of my favourites as I got older.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved him as Dean Ambrose. See all the stuff that he got angry about, like, in his podcast?
Mask and all that.
I loved it all.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Like, even him coming out with, like, fucking tomato sauce and mustard, that was cool. It was shit, but, like, it was cool.
Shit, but I loved it.
Taz, there's a guy.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, if you look at me wearing orange and black and looking the way that I do, I think anyone could make the connection there.
Orange pip garden day as well.
Exactly. It's as if you know.
Yeah.
Pillman, there's another guy.
Yeah.
Not Junior, not the one with the funny beard. That's not a beard I'm going to be replicating anytime soon. But Brian Pillman, senior, definitely up there. Like you say, the man himself, CM Punk.
Charles Montgomery, Chris Michael.
Crooked Moonsault, Cookie Monster, whatever you want to call him.
So,
Yeah.
think we'll ever truly find out.
Yeah, it's Chick Magnet.
I don't know, I think he's Chicago made.
I think that's like the cool one he came up with, but no, it was him when he was in Backyarder when he first started. It was him and a guy CM Venom. They were both the Chick Magnets. And I think, like, if you're talking about legitimate answer, that's as close as we're getting.
Yeah.
Chicago Made's much better though.
That is cool. Well,
I'm trying really quietly to put my water down. Sorry.
that's absolutely fine. I can always cut it out, although they'll need to cut out this bit of me saying this as well.
Doesn't matter. If you hear something, it's me putting my water down. It saves you cutting it. Just saves you 10 minutes.
First fan questions then.
Okay.
So,
Wait till I get my glasses back on, because
a dream match for you. It can be person, type, location, alive person, dead person, anything at all. What is one thing you would absolutely love to do? No restrictions of any kind.
Well, I've got an answer that's not with like all those bells and whistles. Like my actual dream match right now, as it stands, that's realistic, is Trent Seven.
Yeah.
He's a guy that I am
Okay.
a massive fan of for years.
right.
And now that I'm a wrestler, I know that's not the cool thing to say,
Okay.
but I think there's just something about him that I go, that's what a wrestler is.
I love Trent Seven.
So
Like, he's just ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
and I'd love to wrestle him.
Yeah.
I can't really put it into words. It's a weird thing. Like, you know, you can pinpoint why you like certain people. Trent's a guy that I just look at and go, you're the coolest guy on earth.
Yeah. You just are.
But if we're talking about no restrictions, no nothing, The Rock.
Fuck yes.
Not because I'm a personal fan of him, not anything like that.
Imagine
Okay.
what you could get from him, what you could learn from him.
Nah, fuck that. I'd make a lot of money if I wrestled The Rock.
Like, yeah, you're not wrong there, really, are you?
Yeah.
I wrestle The Rock.
Plus-
I'm getting paid.
You're saying
Plus,
I mean,
you absolutely get to tell people all the time that you wrestled The Rock.
Yeah. Think of the money I'd make off the back of that. Sell t-shirts and everything.
Exactly. Just be like your face, and then I wrestled The Rock.
Yeah.
You could use one of my pictures, and then I'll take a cut.
You'd get money as well. See? I'm sharing the
So,
wealth.
if you're listening,
Turn down my wedding invite, Dwayne. Don't fuck this one.
make it
Don't
happen.
here, man.
Make it happen.
It's like, well, I didn't actually do it, but you know, it was an idea the wife gave me the day after. So you should have done that. I'm like, why?
We invited Bram to someone else's wedding,
Yeah, and he almost came.
and he almost came.
So Alan is obviously not here today.
Hi, Alan. So
Hey.
when Alan was getting married, it was at the time when Bram was doing that whole wedding crasher thing. And me and Craig were like, wouldn't it be funny if we said to Bram to come? So what we done was we put together like a congratulations video from loads of different
I
people.
actually think I have it.
You
on
might
this
do.
laptop.
I had it on my phone until quite recently, but it was taking up loads of space.
Like fucking 12 gigs. I
Loads
don't
and
know.
loads of like wee personal videos, and Alan knew nothing about it. Neither did his wife. And we sorted with the venue to have it kind of played and all that halfway through the reception. So Bram done as a wee video, and he was like, I hear there's a wedding, what happened to my invite? And he's like, wouldn't it be funny if I just pushed through these doors right now? And like Alan and Kellyanne, so the two of them are sitting at the top table, and the two of them are just like, oh no, you can see this terror coming over their face. But Bram, up until about 2 days before, was in contact, and he was coming. He was absolutely. You can cut that out because no words come out there. He was absolutely. And I know you're not. He was absolutely coming. I think something came up for him. Did he end up with a booking, or did something happen? But he was coming. So maybe you should have invited him.
Or something, I don't know.
So maybe you should have invited
Aye.
Mr. Johnson to make
Well,
him.
Jayla the Bram thing, I had his video, I had his tune, I had it all linked up on the screen. So
That's
I had
amazing.
fucking
It was ready to go.
everything. And then couldn't do it, so then I cut to just a clip of Veronica and Jen pissing themselves with laughter for
Yeah.
4 minutes. And then he filmed it all and going, sorry, I can't make it. I was actually going to be there,
Yeah.
so he was taking on the shit. Nah, it was funny. But,
That's fine. So the backstory of that is that you should have absolutely invited The Rock because he might have came.
yeah, never know.
You never know.
No. Right, okay. So is there a match type? So this is your dream match, your dream opponents. What about a type you would like to go on? So it's not King of the Mountain. You were at ECW one night stand. You fancy doing any of that?
I don't know if you have noticed, but I'm quite fond of throwing myself with reckless
Land
abandon.
things and
Yeah.
Dodgy situations.
And you know, reckless abandon is absolutely the words I'd use.
I'd love to have a death match. I feel like I would thrive in that type of scenario,
Yeah.
situation. Who against? I don't know.
You're like, I don't care. Just
I don't really care either. Happy to slice up anyone.
There is literally times I've been watching. I'm like, oh no, don't do that. Oh, he's done it. I'm like,
That's
no.
not-
Okay.
That's a running theme in my life. Oh no, don't become a wrestler. Oh yeah, fuck
Oh,
it.
he did it.
You were,
There's also times when I'm looking. I'm going, he's not gonna. No, he's not. Oh no, wait. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. I'm just like,
Oh, I
Christ.
broke my rib literally 2 weeks ago at fucking Halloween Bash.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually broke it. Oh
I was fucked up.
shit.
Just had to deal with it though. That's life.
Yeah.
Bear in mind you're
Suppose
what,
that's.
8 days away from something fairly substantial. You're sitting here with a broken rib.
That's the depths that arcade violence are willing to stoop to. Then you'll just have to wait and see what I'm going to do at Fear and Loathing.
Oh.
Oh, guys.
Oh.
Disclaimer, if you're listening to this now, this is probably out after Fear and
Fear and Loathing has
so
probably happened, so you'll know what's
you can
happened.
probably pull up some pictures from your phone and see what the fuck happened at this point. But wow, props to you, man. That is going to be.
I'm sure they've got some stuff in their back pocket, but
I would
We'll
imagine so.
we'll see.
I'm not going to go. I'm just going to go home.
I may see if I can change my ticket to a sitting ticket now, so I'm a long bit further.
To be fair,
Good idea.
Yeah. Whereas I'm normally in prime position for a ladder to get me right in the coupon, which is always good.
So you were telling me there about Trent Seven. You think he's the coolest motherfucker on the planet when you look at him.
Yeah.
You've very similar styles as well. You know what you say it.
Well, yeah, that helps matters.
Yeah.
That's why I think I would have a very, very entertaining, a very good match with him. He's a guy that I've tried to replicate. Like I say, I've been a fan for so many years. He was a guy I was a big fan of, especially in ICW. Like, I thought his run was fantastic.
His run in ICW was amazing.
He's the reason I made it onto the WWE network on one of the promos on ICW, the beard.
Oh, the beard tickle, that's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Forget that.
But it's a guy who, like, I look at and I go, I see a lot of myself in his style.
Yeah.
I feel like we could put on a very, very competitive match,
Yeah.
which I think would be very entertaining. He's a guy
Absolutely.
I'd love to have back in ICW as well. I feel he's a guy that the crowd would
Would love to
latch
have him
back
back.
onto.
Place would fucking rock.
Would love to see him back, yeah.
You never know. Never say never.
Absolutely.
You never say never.
You never know these
Ever.
days.
Even things that were an absolute definite never, in some situations, have turned out to not be a never. So
Yeah.
Exactly. You never say never. So with...
Sorry, just it's okay. Never mind.
Yeah, no, go for it.
No, it wasn't a question. I'm just explaining why I'm putting my glasses on like this because it's been in I keep saying the word
That's because you're in advanced years. It's alright, you understand.
I'm not in it.
Jesus.
Siblings.
This is also a running thing of how substantially much older I am than people.
Yeah, I mean, the best part about it is that it's the gift that just keeps on giving. Keep getting fucking older.
It's not fun. It's not fair.
What would you say is the most challenging thing, move, section, segment, combination that you've actually tried or you're currently trying in the ring or trying to pull it back? Is there a secret you've got ready to pull out on the arcade fights the next week or two?
There's a few things there, yes, but challenging in what way?
That you've not really got first time. You're trying to innovate and do something a bit different. Make up, put your own spin on it. So, prime example, how many different ways can you do a pile driver?
Well, that was the thing. I wanted to do a pile driver, but Rio was very good at pile drivers,
Yes.
and I
Well,
was
yes.
substandard at pile drivers, so I no longer do pile drivers.
Fair.
The most challenging thing is headbutting people without fucking myself up, and I do it a lot.
I was going to say you're
a fan
quite
of the old noggin.
quite
Yeah.
headbutty, aren't you?
Yeah, you'd think I was half Simone, but trying to find a way to do that without fucking myself up,
Yeah.
because I am. I just I
Reckless
fly at people head first. My neck is fucked. I need you to understand.
Yeah.
I'm in constant agony.
That's.
Oh, dude, that's not good.
I was going to say that's not good, really, is it?
Please be very, very careful.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I'm not, it's careful.
We seem to have noticed this.
Please.
I'm glad you have. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. It's definitely picked up on. Don't you worry about that.
Well, we know who you'd love to get in the ring with. No restrictions,
Uh-huh.
whatever. Is there anyone you really don't want to get in the ring with? Or you just take anyone?
I really don't think there's many people. But as far as people that I don't like wrestling, is my brother, because I feel
Okay.
bad. I don't like doing it.
That's alright.
I don't like.
I was actually wondering that.
I feel like
earlier.
if there's anyone who I get on with better in wrestling, there's nobody. It's him. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel right wrestling each other. We've done it a couple times now,
Yeah,
and it's very competitive. I had my first ever match against him.
that's right.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's not fair.
Really not fair, but
Although
pulled out
having
of
your
the
first
bag.
match against him, though, was that maybe something that kind of gives you a wee bit of comfort, like a wee bit of a kind of not security, because I don't mean it that way, but it's like I know this guy better than I know anybody else, and it kind of gives you that.
definitely, it felt very cathartic. It felt fitting. It felt like the best person for me to have my first
Yeah.
match against. You know, him really breaking me into the business and
Yeah.
kind of taking me along the way.
So like it's almost like
You
a
broke him into it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Hey,
But it's
swings
almost
and
like
roundabouts.
a wee introduction, though, isn't it? It's like not like him going, "Here's my little brother," but it's like
Well, it was also a really. There was a nice kind of full circle moment in the sense that I debuted, for those unaware,
Yep.
at the last ever Source show, in which it meant that I was the last ever Source graduate.
yeah,
and in a weird kind of, depends how you want to look at the timelines of it, but the source school that was ran by Damo, Lewis was probably the first graduate of that.
Uh-huh.
And in a weird way, it meant that we started and
Kinda
finished
started
with
that's
Girvan
pretty cool.
Yeah.
to think of,
graduating
yeah.
from the source school, which was
Yeah.
really cool. So getting to do that with him by my side, and of course having the nice heartfelt moment at the end of that was great. And then about a year later, we revisited it at Blockbuster, which was
Yeah.
that was fun as well, because that was like after all the things I had then experienced from then and like had gotten so much more comfortable with. I felt like it was a totally different match because it was more of a competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, right.
That's what I was going to ask. Is there an actual kind of like, obviously just now you're very much in the kind of the tag side of things, but is there an actual, do you find there's like a wee bit of competition between you?
I think there's competition in the sense of I'm constantly trying to prove myself to him because he
Right.
is so long in the tooth and he is so experienced and he
Yeah.
is so talented that I feel
Absolutely.
I don't want to be ever perceived as like his second. It's always we're seen on an equal plane.
Yeah, you don't want that tag of
Yeah.
always being, oh, there's Lucy's little brother,
Yeah.
there's Lucy's little brother.
And I feel like we're long away from that. Although
yeah,
Arcade like
absolutely.
to constantly bring it up, you know, on their fucking shitty wee Instagram stories, calling me Lewis's wee brother. But hey, that's the game.
Yeah,
I know they're
absolutely.
trying to play mind games. I know their game, and that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. Just in terms of this, it's just a wee question that I've noticed here. That Cheryl sent in. Who's more handsome?
Oh, me, fuck that boy. I'm the most handsome man on earth.
Barely even finished what you were saying.
I know. Who's more handsome? You or Lewis? Definitely.
I kid. We have the same face. It would be
No,
aggro.
you do. You
It's-
actually have the
It's
same
pretty
face.
striking, yeah.
If you really were to like cut out from eyebrow down to like bottom lip, even to chin, I'd say we are the same human being. He just is half a foot tall and has a full head of hair,
Yeah.
which
What-
kind of sucks.
What I will say, and
You've got the better beard. You've got the better facial.
That's correct.
what I will say is, having now photographed you both, I could put your face on him or his face on you, and it wouldn't change the photograph.
Exactly.
Literally.
You should see our dad.
I was literally just about to ask that, so where's that coming from? Is that mum or dad?
Oh, it's my dad.
Aye.
There's a photo of us from his birthday a few years ago where we're standing in a line. My dad doesn't have a beard, and that's the only difference. We are the same human being next to
Really?
each other. It's insane. But he's bald.
You're
and I'm bald.
you're like ridiculously similar.
In the way that we talk, the way that we look, just not that height.
Yeah. I've said that you speak. I even find like your mannerisms, like even like your like physical mannerisms, everything about you is very, very similar.
It's just it comes from just spending so much time together. You know what I mean, like I see where a lot of siblings, which I'm sure you used to know about, argue and fight. We
Yeah.
never really had that. We've always got on very well.
It's a good few years between you, isn't there?
There's 5 years between us.
5,
And if you
9 between
Nine.
us.
if you would believe this, I am the younger brother. Everyone, when they first meet us, go, "He's your younger brother."
Same thing.
People look at us and go, "He's your younger brother."
He's your wee brother.
I'm like, yeah. Quite considerably younger. So you weren't like kind of
No.
a set of siblings that argued very much.
Growing up, we always got on really well, and wrestling always helped that because it was something we were both so passionate about. And with him doing it, I was always a massive fan of him. Like,
Yeah.
I went to all of his shows for the first few years until it got to the point where he was so busy that I couldn't go to all of his shows. When he
Okay.
started travelling, when he started doing ICW,
Kings of Catch.
and by that point, especially, like, I mean, when they done King's Road, I did film a few of their wee skits.
Nice.
I was a
Okay.
resident cameraman a few times, but at that point, especially, they were fucking everywhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, be a bit of miss if I was going. Can you just like put me in the car with you when you go to fucking pulling this out my arse, but Nottingham? You know what I mean? Like going down south or going to Ireland. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't go to shows like that, obviously. But no, it was. I can hand on my heart say that like we've argued like any sibling does,
Yeah.
but like for the most part, we always got on.
That's good. Yeah, it's nice. As
Must be nice, eh?
well, you can tell me a bit more about that if you once we're finished, right? Because, no, to be fair, we're not that bad,
Nah.
really.
First 16 years of my life, I
I would say the first 10.
Well, I'd say the first 16.
These are already arguing. This is great.
Like, I tried to kill him a few times when he was younger. But hey ho.
Fact. But anyway,
Yeah.
carry on.
On you go. I'm looking to see if you on you
So
pop.
what was anybody who's more handsome or Lewis? Straight away, it's yourself. We'll get a lot of silly questions. people
Actually, on the
like
back of
to
that, what would Lewis say?
Lewis would say neither of us. He thinks we're both pig ugly bastards.
I was just interested as to whether he'd have the same opinion.
I know, he always says this and like goes, no, Fraser, we're both ugly. And I'm like, that's an insane thing to say. That you're just...
Absolutely.
It's such an actual fact that I'm ugly, which I don't believe.
Oh, I don't think either of you are ugly. Don't worry about
There
it.
we go.
There you go. I feel like there's a few really kind of mad questions.
Go for it.
You always do get mad ones.
What's the most mad question you've got?
I've got, if you could have two wrestlers fight on dinosaurs, who would you pick?
The fuck?
But I think you should add to that, and what dinosaurs would they have as well, because that's important. Fraser's like, fuck off, no it's not.
Can I change the question?
Whatever you want.
Could I have a wrestler fighting a dinosaur?
Fuck yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Could I have two wrestlers fighting a
Fuck
dinosaur?
yes, you
Absolutely.
can.
Could I have a T-Rex killing arcade violence?
That's not fair.
It doesn't need to be fair.
That's not a fair fight.
Fuck arcade violence.
Stop it.
I'm sure.
I'm trying to be impartial here. Stop it.
You've got to be impartial. You've got to be impartial. It is.
I don't.
No, you don't.
Aye, we do. You don't. But by the time people are hearing this, I'm sure it's been an absolute fucking bloodbath, probably. And I hope all four of you are still alive and well after it in some way, shape, or form.
I think some people are going to get hurt. I think
I
that's
hope
the thing.
everyone's able to breathe on their own. That's the minimum.
Yeah, that's-
expectations.
We'll see.
I'm having a look to see if there's any. What's one that Declan always likes to ask?
Favourite
Something about Monster Munch.
flavour of Monster Munch.
None. Dog shit crisp.
Love that answer.
If
There you go, Declan.
Legitimately,
Dog shit crisp.
if someone was to eat pickled onion Monster Munch in front of me, I'd kill them. I hate it. It's the worst flavour
Note to
ever.
self, send multi-pack to Arcade Violence Locker Room.
I don't even think about it. That's the thing I'd love to do, like deathmatch and all that. See if somebody pulled out a packet of Monster Munch, I'd quit the business. I'd be like, this isn't worth it.
You're like, I'll take any weapon, but do not bring Monster Munch.
We'll find his kryptonite.
Yeah.
I
I'm
swear to
literally.
God, if the next show you've all got packets of fucking Monster Munch, I'm gonna go after my nut.
We won't have a promise.
No.
Yeah, there's loads of like really random ones. Like Cheryl, I think she's just been on a wee random spree. She says, would you rather fight 10 midget Triple H's or one giant one?
Well, that's a given. 10 midget ones.
I would say so.
I don't know.
That one giant one.
How giant are we?
Well, a
talking?
regular sized one would be concerning enough. So if it's I don't know what giant would be. What
This is the game we're talking about here.
let's say like
The
giant.
cerebral assassin. Imagine a big version of that.
So who's like the?
Imagine 10 of that!
By
I
the
don't
time-
care if they're 3 foot tall,
But they're midgets. You could just poof them right out the way.
but it's still, I don't know.
But you could punt each one of them out the way, and then that would be you done.
As a man
See if they was
who's
like 10 foot tall or something, you wouldn't want to.
as a man who's
dealing with
fought 10 dwarfs before,
Right, what?
This may need some explanation.
I've lied to you.
There was only 9. But I would say I say small ones. It's got to be easier, hasn't it?
Got to be.
Got to be.
Okay. You fire
In terms of the continuing random questions, we have toes for fingers or fingers for toes.
I've got an actual answer for this, and I've thought about it. I think fingers for toes because I feel like it's not like you're getting both kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like you're not swapping. You would just have all fingers or
All
you'd have all
fingers.
toes.
Yeah,
Aye, fingers for toes.
That would
Ah.
literally be useful.
I would
Yeah,
absolutely
I would
say
be
the same.
It would be, what's the word for it? Not ambidextrous because that's two hands. What's the word? Chimps.
Pass.
I don't know, but I'd like to be a chimp. I think.
Oh yeah, because
You're a
they're
good chunk, yeah.
Have you,
because their feet do the same.
have
as
you
their
seen
hands, don't
like photos of chimps like who don't have hair? They're yoked. They're jacked.
I know.
They're cool as anything, man. Like, see if I could be a chimp, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I love monkeys.
I do quite like a monkey.
Okay, sweet.
When you're talking about Jack, have you seen like the pure picture of like the pure muscly kangaroos
That's what I mean.
that absolutely look like they'd knock fuck out you?
Have you ever seen?
Oh, no.
There's a guy on TikTok right now who started like testing animal supplements that they give them, like in zoos, because they're so high in protein.
Yeah.
Really?
I might do that. That's actually.
Y-
I've just let you in a secret.
Protein.
I'm the guy on TikTok. That's how I'm
You
training for
are-
arcade violence.
You are the kangaroo.
I'm eating chimp food.
God.
You know, like shaved bears.
Shaved bears.
Oh, bears are another one.
Shaved
Bears are great animals.
Fingers for toes too, because is there not? Might be losing my geek card here, but X-Men was one of them. Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah, he
finger
has.
toes.
Did you have finger toes?
Yeah.
Do you know, for me, it's not even about how useful your feet would be. It's about the fact that you'd have toes on your hands.
It's not that having toes in your hands. I've got. Oh, I'm just pure giving away all my secrets here. I've got small toes, so if I had those size of toes in my hands would be useless. They'd be stumps that I couldn't do anything with.
Right?
I'd be furious at all times.
Like,
Looking at
because
my
of your tiny toe hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
useless.
We did say there was some random questions in here, so I do.
Oh, there's so much randomness.
That's fine.
I quite like this actually. I don't know who this
You
might be
keep
from.
going random, then I'll bring it back to you.
Yeah, you can do the serious stuff. I think it might be another one from Fluffy actually. So can you pick your top 3 crazy wrestling fan chant moments? So things that have made you laugh. If you've ever been in the ring, you've been like, oh my god, is that what they're actually chanting? I suppose it doesn't even need to be when you're in the ring. If you've heard anything when you've been,
Yeah, the £5 wrestling that was live streamed on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled Leo McLean,
yes,
who took to wearing a green silk shirt,
mm-hmm.
and he got a Baldy Riddler chant.
he did.
That made me laugh
Leo.
like
He
fuck.
did. He did get a ball. I don't know who started that, but it was great.
It was hilarious.
Beautiful.
When I came out expecting to be cheered at Bard, to be met by a chorus of "Fuck the Girvans," that was
I'm assuming that didn't make you laugh.
made me laugh in a kind of morbid way.
Just out there.
Open my eyes a wee bit.
Yeah.
And for a third one, I don't know. It's any times I get a nice wee fucking ICW chant. That makes me laugh. So I go, I'm the fucking man.
Yeah.
I like that. Any ICW, holy shit.
Badge of honour.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Aye, if something you've done gets you the.
Aye.
Do you have a chant that you hate if you hear fans chanting certain things, or something that you really hate?
When people chant for arcade violence, it's a big one.
I will
Yes.
point out this time when anytime Fraser says anything like this, he looks directly at me now.
No reason. No reason at all.
No reason whatsoever.
No, do you know what I hate? Right, completely. I hate when people chant both these guys.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know.
That's quite annoying. That one.
I'm like, fucking pick one.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
And don't get me wrong, a lot of the times it can be two guys that you do really like, and I'm obviously struggling with that quite a lot at the moment. I think that's fair.
Not the first time.
No, it's not the first time.
Wouldn't be the last
No,
time.
absolutely not. But I'm like, pick someone. See, that's both. And I understand sometimes maybe at the end of a match, like giving everybody the kind of the credit of everybody was fucking awesome and
Yeah,
this was awesome and blah 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 blah.
For everybody involved. 'Cause that's what should happen regardless.
Yeah, but absolutely at that point you kind of show your appreciation for the guy that you've maybe not cheered. But both these guys chant just absolutely rips man at.
You know what really annoys me? English fans chanting anything, to be
It
honest.
just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right, and B, a lot of the time they're just trying to make themselves laugh. Like, see, I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything, but it's that shitey English patter that just doesn't, it just doesn't make me laugh. It just annoys me. It's like James Drake a few years ago used to have trunks with his face on the back of it, and they used to chant, he's got his own face on his arse.
Yes.
Minus funny. That's just unfunny. But then it's just that English sense of humour that I can't stomach. Makes my skin crawl.
Completely agree. I remember when I was at NXT.
Yeah, NXT UK at Download, they done it.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that shite as well. It wasn't just wrestling fans there. There was like people who obviously had no fucking clue what was going on, and they were just joining the mob mentality.
Yeah.
That was miserable.
Did ruin it a bit, but it's a culture that's totally different.
I think that was a fluffy question actually. It was.
Probably. It does sound the sort of thing it does. Well, I'm going to ask you. I've never asked you this before.
Don't ask me questions.
No. There must have been one in all the years that's made you utterly piss yourself with laughter. I don't mind this.
There's lots. There's lots.
Mine was Massimo, and it was the Mario theme.
Yeah.
And the entire garage just going do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Mildly racist now, actually. That's
Yeah.
that.
Just a wee bit.
I was crying at that because
It's not ones that make me laugh as such, but I know sometimes I can sometimes get a wee bit tirade when I'm watching things. Like, sometimes things just come out and I'm like, oh, shut up. And there was a show quite recently that I had. Obviously, I had Cheryl and Suzanne Rust and that beside me, and like Suzanne Rust was crying with laughter at what I'd said, and I don't even remember what it was. Oh no, I do. I can't remember who it was, but it was something to do with, he said, I'll have a wank on your hamburger or something like that, right, which was random enough. But I then started all this, I was making up like McDonald's burgers names, so it was like the McJizz and the stuff like that, and I just kept
former
going.
McDonald's employee,
And I was just like, stuff just kept, and I'm saying to myself, shut the fuck up. And Suzanne was crying. I think she missed the entire match because I just kept saying stuff. I'm like, I need to stop. I need to stop talking. What's the one that's made me laugh the most? I don't know. There's been a few quite funny ones lately, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. No, I do remember you starting the Massimo thing, but I can't think. It might come back to me. Something might come to me.
that's fair.
But there's definitely. I'm going to have a wee look, see if there's anything else funny, and you can do some serious ones.
Yeah,
I'll have
it's about time we get away from the ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry.
So, simple one,
fine.
ask every single person this, always have, always will. If you could go back in time, right now, and give yourself some advice for getting into this when you first started training, what would you have wanted to know back then? What do you think would have really helped you?
Well, ironically, obviously, I only debuted a year and a half ago, but I actually started training in 2011 for the first time, when I was 11. I wish I could go back then. Now, think what the landscape of wrestling was in 2011.
Absolutely.
If I could go back and tell 11-year-old me, who wouldn't have understood anyway, but if I could tell them then, stick at it.
Yeah.
Because, fuck me.
You could go to the moon with this.
Imagine 11 years old starting.
Still can go to the moon with this.
Definitely. But think, that was 13 years ago. All the stuff that's happened
Yeah.
in Scotland alone in those 13 years.
You look at how many Scottish people do we have on WWE right now? 6 in total, I think.
Could have been 7.
Maybe 7.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the big one. The other thing, because that's like, I mean, if I could go back and talk to 11-year-old me, he wouldn't have a fucking clue what was going on. I trained for a wee bit when I was 16 as well. I need to point out, I trained for 2 or 3 weeks when I was 11. I didn't train for long.
When you were 11?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If I could go back to 6-year-old me, 16, not 60, I'm not. I look old, I'm not actually that old. If I could go back to 16-year-old me, because that's 2016 now, you know what I mean? Speak to him, I would have said the exact same stuff. It's that way I go, there were so many opportunities in my life, because Lewis was wrestling this entire time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So many times in my life I had the opportunity to do it, and I just didn't. For different reasons, life got in the way. If I could have just stuck at it then, I've always got that thing in the back of my head of like, where could I be now?
Yeah.
However, I'd say I'm doing pretty good for
Absolutely.
myself.
Pretty goddamn fine just now as well.
Yeah.
So,
Can I ask just slightly on the back of that, and obviously I've kind of, before we started this, checked that you don't mind me speaking about this. When you say about life getting in the way and stuff, was that round about the time of
The roller coaster.
the accident? Yeah.
Yes.
I wondered
Was
when
it?
this was going to come up. I figured it would.
Well,
so-
I did check that it was okay to
Right, okay.
to ask about it.
I'll get ribbed relentlessly for this coming up.
Really?
It's the classic thing of, why are you bringing that up again? You talking about the crash again?
It was a hard one. Did you break your neck?
I broke my neck, eh?
Well, I've asked you. It's not like you've came to me. But wait till I tell you about this.
That's true.
I've asked you about it.
Yes, when I was about 16, obviously I was in a roller coaster crash. I say
Yeah.
obviously, it's this weird thing where I'm so used to speaking about it, so I assume everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
But for those who don't know, I was in a roller coaster crash when I was 16, and you're right, it was literally 2 weeks before that is when I went back to training,
Are you joking?
Oh, fuck.
and I was in the crash, and I couldn't
Obviously,
train anymore.
physically affected your ability to.
That put a right damper on going to training on a Wednesday to do squats when my quad didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
I mean-
was it your leg that was injured?
It was my leg. I tore my quad, which is hilarious that I'd done that before I got into wrestling. I mean,
Feel like I've been there, done that. I'm just-
exactly. Fucking, and I broke my arm as well.
Right.
which is not the best like thing to do at 16.
No.
You know what I mean?
Trust me, mate, I know.
Going in, that's what I mean. I went into wrestling with like a bad back and fucked knees. God knows.
So do you still have any kind of physical issues from them?
From the crash, no. It's like wee things like my quad's not quite as strong.
Okay.
It's the same as any broken bone. You've got that weird, like, you're more careful.
Yeah.
Just in general terms.
Just
yeah.
in general. But mentally, that's another story.
Yeah.
But physically, yeah, I've well and truly recovered from that. There's no lasting injuries.
Yeah.
I was very, very lucky in that regard. Which is why I have lucky tattooed on my arm.
Okay.
Well,
A wee insight, a wee behind the ink WWE gimmick.
I like that. I like to hear these wee things. Well, don't like to hear that you were hurt like that, but you know what I mean. I like to hear that there's a.
I'm a big believer if it makes a good story, I'm
Absolutely.
willing to do anything.
Do you find that that's kind of changed your outcome or your outlook? Yeah, on
I feel like
things and
that's.
maybe like life in general, because
I think it was very eye opening for me, and I'd love to say that was the thing that like kick-started my career, but it wasn't.
yeah,
But that definitely it made me mature in such a way that I had to, because I'd been faced with like a grim reality of almost dying at
Absolutely.
16.
yeah,
Like, it just made me. I had to be an adult about it because it was a very adult situation.
yeah, absolutely.
I feel as well though it's like I look at the crash and I go, if that didn't kill me, what can?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go into life with that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, if a fucking thousands of tons of steel can't take me out,
You're pretty
arcade
solid.
violence can't fucking take me out. You know what I
As he
mean?
look,
for it, man.
as he looked directly at me again, I'll just.
Waiting
I'm starting to feel like I'm fucking. It's me that's pissed off with me. No, but it's absolutely going to give you a different way of looking at like life in general, isn't it? When you've,
Definitely, it's.
I wouldn't say walked away because obviously you didn't walk away, but
Well, I tried and fell.
okay,
I got taken down from the actual crash because it landed on the floor, but it was a roller coaster where your legs dangle. So I got very fortunate in that regard as well because the actual coaster itself flipped,
it's kind of flipped.
so our legs were in the air. If we
Am I,
dropped
am
straight
I right in
down,
thinking as well that were you one of the worst injured?
it's hard because like obviously a lot of this was very confidential and not a lot was said.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah.
I don't even mean like as in I can't talk about it, as in I don't know.
You don't know?
Like there was a boy who had his hand surgically reattached.
Wow.
There was a litany of injuries, but I would say like it's hard to rank them because you go where one person might have had lesser injuries mentally, they might have fucked them up worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a fuck forever,
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, but as far as like physical injuries go, I think I was the one with the most broken parts coming out of it. I know I'm laughing. This seems morbid, but it's just the way that I've learned
But
to
it's
cope
kind of,
with
I think it's the way
You know what I mean?
you deal with these things, isn't
Trust
it?
me, I completely understand.
Like Craig had a horrific accident. What age were you?
14.
14. Fell off a fireman's pole.
Um,
Is it the short version?
Short version, I fell off a fire.
Fell off a fireman's pole and absolutely
Dropped
shattered
about 30
his
feet,
ankle.
landed on my foot, and then like you tried to stand up and be that 1,000 times fucking worse.
All I'm getting from this is you're blowing me out of the water. You done it when you were 14. That's way cooler.
No, but I think if we're ranking what happened, I think yours is worse.
Hey. I don't do things in half measures.
No, it doesn't sound that way. No, I just wondered, obviously, when you'd said about life getting in the way with that.
Yeah, no, it's that thing.
That had been the.
It's where your priorities lie at that point in life. And at 16, when I discovered drinking and going out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wrestling kind of took the back foot, and I would hands up. I
Yeah.
know I was wrong in that regard. I know how much better off I would have been if I just stuck at wrestling, but
Yeah, but like that, you need to kind of do these things when you're.
Yeah.
When you're young, you just need to.
character building.
Absolutely.
That's what I call it. Roller coaster
Absolutely.
crashes and getting drunk in fields. It's made Fraser Girvan who he is.
Can't get a good old drunk in a field story. And
Everybody has a drunk in a field story.
It's not a field, it's a park. If it's not a park, it's a fucking empty schoolyard.
Everybody had the one pal who had the mum that didn't mind them all being there.
Aye.
Yep.
So you used to get drunk in your pal's house because you couldn't go to your own house.
It's absolutely terrible. But no, I appreciate it. Obviously, it's not a
Yeah.
nice thing to talk about.
Hey, I'm an open book.
Absolutely.
It's well, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd say
Exactly.
it's character building. that's not taking you out, what the fuck will? Good luck, arcade violence. I hope you've done well. I hope everyone is breathing. I hope there's no ventilators involved. I hope you're all perfectly fine. We all are thoroughly entertained. But I don't think everyone's going to be perfectly fine. Nah.
Okay, that was a wee bit serious, so just...
Yeah. Lighten the mood again, give me something silly. So what about how many kangaroos do you think you could fight? Or...
No, I don't have a kangaroo question. We've done the dinosaur one. We've done the midget Triple H's, we've done toe fingers. Finger toes. You might need to just do another series one until I find something else.
Come on, give me something ridiculous.
No, you've done that one, we've done that one. Stop putting pressure on me. And everybody's looking at me. There's no more funny ones.
No way.
There's not.
Sure.
Although there is a would you do your coach trip gimmick again?
Yeah, so that's what I'd like to add to that. So the coach trip I think was fantastic. We enjoyed that.
We did.
Who else do you think you could successfully?
Oh yeah, is there anybody else?
Let me think. I did a pretty good Mean Gene Oakland.
Okay.
You saw that at the Halloween bash.
Yes, that was
I done a great old man.
phenomenal.
Nameless old man.
Boxes of crisps.
Who else is? Bald guys. Taz. I'd be Fraz.
Fraz,
There we go.
like it.
I could just do a bunch of old ECW gimmicks. What's other ones that have a similar name to me? Frabu. Does that work?
Oh my god, Frabu. You get the same mentality of fuck it, let's see what happens.
Yeah, see, there you go. I come out with a pair of fucking Aladdin trousers on.
Aye.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yoga trousers.
Frabu.
I'm sure we could find them quite easily.
Yeah,
I have a pair.
there you go. Sorted.
Stick a sharpened drumstick down your foot. Who was telling us that years ago?
It's very famous that Sabu would go out to the ring
Yeah,
Was it
to keep himself safe.
I can't remember who told us.
was it Jester maybe? It was sent, or
Uh,
was it somebody else? I remember they were standing talking to Sabu pre-match, about to go out with him. Just casual as hell, picked up a drumstick, snapped it in their conversation, didn't break eye contact, found out what the sharpest thing was, and just stuffed it in his boot, and then walked out.
It's like, what? Excuse us.
I feel there's a big part of that's like a scare tactic.
Yeah,
You
probably.
look at a
Yeah.
guy like that and you go, right, well, I'll be nice.
Yeah. Here's, it's not really a silly question, but it just comes on the back of the fact that I absolutely begged Fraser to bring his crown with him today.
Yes.
I was like, please bring your crown. So it was Westy had actually sent in, just saying in regards to the I'm coming out Rumble. What? Oh, Craig's pointing at me. What?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought he was telling me to shut up there. I was like,
that was going to be my next. That's where
all
I
right,
was going
okay.
next. But okay.
She was asking what your thoughts were on the opponents that you had, and out of the people who were in that Rumble, who would you most like to batter next?
That's actually perfect segue. I feel like that was a really interesting experience. There was a lot of names in that I don't think many people were familiar with.
Yeah, I would agree.
Workers from down south who, not by any fault of their own, just haven't been across the border. Felt it was a nice showcase for a lot of the guys there. Luca Romeo, I think, was a right standout.
Yeah.
I think he's very interesting.
Mhm.
I think him and Jack Ripley would be a very interesting match.
Yes.
Who can be sexier, I guess. But
Exactly. There would definitely be a.
however, if there's anyone I would like to batter out of that, Hardman Dan.
Right.
Because how fucking dare he walk into Glasgow and call himself a hard man
Yeah.
when I was in the same match as him.
To be fair, I mean, the crowd was just like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Shut up. I think if you've got to walk in and tell people you're a hard man,
You're not.
you're not
no.
a hard man.
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking at me in the eyes. It's kind of a hard sell when you're standing next to me.
Well, there you go. So that would be your.
Oh, Zachary Swift too. Fuck him and his moustache.
Oh, well. And especially his moustache.
Fuck that.
Pompous arsehole. I don't know.
The moustache is solely property of Trent.
You know.
Yeah. He does have a good moustache. Right, I've got my glasses off, so I now can't see anything. So
No, that's good.
Now we're getting serious. The glasses are off.
Specs are off. Aye. Craig's looking
that just means I can't see. Well, no, I can't see things that are close to me. I can see far away things.
One thing we normally like to ask other people about where they would like to go in the future. So you said yourself, before we were asking about going back 16-year-olds, telling yourself what's possible. What would you like? What would your goal? What is your kind of
What's
what
my
you want to get to?
It's the obvious answer, but WWE.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's what I grew up watching when I could. I'd love to say TNA, but that's not the same as what I watched when I was younger. I was too old to say that I grew up watching AEW. You know what I mean? WWE. But then I'm saying that it's not like WWE's the only goal.
No,
I've got many.
There's so many choices. NWA, AEW,
There's,
TNA.
yeah, there's all these promotions, and that's only in America. But like, I'd love to go wrestle in Mexico. I'm a very
Okay.
I might not come across as it, but I'm a massive wrestling fan. I grew up watching what I could find. A lot of that on YouTube when I was younger was Japanese wrestling, so I'm a massive fan of promotions like Noah, or
Okay.
Jack Morris is obviously killing it over
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's like, people talk about all the Scottish guys who've went to WWE, but you look at the Scottish guys who are doing stuff everywhere. You know what I mean? Jack Morris is a perfect example. In places like Noah or New Japan or any. But this is what I mean. I think I want to travel as much as humanly possible. Closer to home, there's places like Progress and Rev Pro down south.
Yeah.
OTT have
OTT, yeah, absolutely.
going massive right now.
Absolutely.
Just had
Judgment
fucking
Day,
Judgment Day on their last
Yeah.
show. You know what I mean? It's just, I want to. Is this sounds like a basic answer, but I want to see as much of wrestling as possible before my time's up. And that's not saying that like my time's up soon. That's just making the point that like I want to be able to, like, when I eventually hang up the boots, look back and go, fuck, I done a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saw a lot of stuff.
I went to so many places. I worked with so many people.
Met so many people, and that's my favourite thing about wrestling is it's such a unique thing in the way that, like, the way that you travel and you meet so many people, and it's such different, like, crowds that you interact with. It's, without getting emotional, it's great. And to be able to, like, look back and say, I went to all these cool places through wrestling, that's something I could be proud of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I could say that by going to WWE, or I could say that by going to New Japan. I can say that by going to every independent promotion I can in the world. You know what I mean?
Right. So, running out of time, running out of questions. I think we've got a really, really great session here. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
No problem.
One thing that I've asked every single person, every single guest, we've asked every guest, no matter who it is, when it is, we've always asked this. What advice would you give to someone that's just looking to start their journey into becoming a professional wrestler? I've had people say don't do it, so nothing is off the books here.
I would never say don't do it. I think the people who say that are just, it's an unnecessarily negative way to look at wrestling. And I know it can be played for humour, but if you're truly interested in getting into wrestling, my first bit of advice would be do it. 100% do it. It's the things that I've been allowed to do, the opportunities I've been granted in such a short amount of time. I am just starting out for all intents and purposes, you know what I mean? But if I was to give any advice, it's the advice I was given very early on. Listen. Just open ears at all times. You never know when you're going to get a nugget of information, or you're going to get a bit of feedback, or a bit of critique sometimes, that could totally change the way you look at wrestling. And it might come from some of the most unexpected sources. I mean, I feel like if you really want to, like, hone in on your performance, speak to someone who doesn't like wrestling, because they'll notice things. They'll notice things that wrestling fans wouldn't.
Okay.
They'll react to things that wrestling fans wouldn't, because it's stuff that they get as a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? I know a lot of wrestling fans who like to act like they're well aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
But see, if you speak to a punter, speak to a family member, they'll have a totally different perspective on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, listen to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
It might be shite, it might be good. It's up to you to decide. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's pretty fucking G. Sorry, I don't know why I said pretty fucking G, but we just went with that. That is absorb everything that you can. What would you say then, from what you've heard or what you've been critiqued on or observed by someone, what's been the most valuable thing that you've picked up on?
See, this is quite a. I don't want to mince my words with this because I've gotten a lot of feedback, and this actually plays into a bit of advice for people getting into wrestling. Is there's a wrestler that you envision yourself being when you start wrestling. There's a wrestler that you're born to be. The wrestler you're born to be is the one you should stick to. That's the one you should really put your money into, because God knows there's so many people who try to be
the next someday.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Be the wrestler that you naturally are, because you'll find way more success doing that. I mean, I'd love to say, I talked about guys like Jeff Hardy. I'd love to do big swantons. I'd love to do stuff like that. I'm just better at beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it makes more sense. It looks better. It works for me. I found more success doing that. So yeah, I think it was being told to stop trying to be other people. Just be you.
Be the best you. Be the first you, not the next somebody.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Like it.
Well, I think we're pretty much here where it's time
We're pretty much here.
open the floor.
Yeah.
If there's anything you want to get off your chest, anything you want to say, anything you feel needs to be said to anybody about anything, the floor is yours.
I think going into Fear and Loathing, I want to make it very clear that we get it. We're not the fan favourite anymore. As much as I don't agree with it, as much as we've done everything the right way, you know. We've done everything the arcade has.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? Why are we being treated like we're the dicks for acting the way we are right now? Why are we the bad guys? The fans were all on our side. And I said it before. At Bard, we walked out and all of a sudden we were the bad guys. What's the difference? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want you all to think about that. Have we done anything that's not justified? I don't get it. I don't understand where this divide has came from. It's not even a divide, it's very one-sided. It's everyone's in favour of arcade violence, but unfortunately, as I've said before, the things that we're willing to do at Fear and Loathing, the people that me and Lewis are, we played this nice game, we were the company men for so long. No more. At Fear and Loathing, we are willing to go to that next level. We're willing to take it that extra step further than arcade ever will. And that's why we're going to be the next ICW Tag Team Champions. You can put your fucking money on that.
And I really can't add anything to that. I don't think anyone else can, so I think that's probably the perfect point to say once again, thank you so much for your time.
Not a problem.
It's been
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure, and I don't know about you, but I am fucking hyped for this now.
I can't wait. I'm buzzing.
And we'll see by the time this is out what happens.
By the time this is out, you'll know.
By the time this is out, we'll listen to this and we'll either be going, fuck, they were right, or I didn't go as planned, but I think it's going to be the former, to be honest there, so shit.
Shit. You can't finish it on a shit.
I can't finish it on a shit. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you everyone for
Thank
listening.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.